Hello everyone and welcome to Sambus Geospatial YouTube channel. Welcome to another training series. And today we are going to be talking about NDVI and NDRE. These are two vegetation indexes and I'm going to be walking you through 4 things. So we are going to be talking about the introduction to NDVI and NDRE. We're going to be talking about their technical differences, the bands, the formulas. Then we're also going to be looking at the way you can interpret the maps. What does an NDVI map say? What does the NDRE map say? So we're going to be looking at that. We're going to be looking at different range within these maps. Then also we're going to be walking through the workflow. We're going to be carrying out this analysis ourselves, and you can do it at your own pace, in your own time. So let's go right into it. Both the NDVI and the NDRE, they are both indices, vegetation indices, like I said earlier, and they are gotten from satellite images. They're used to measure vegetation health and biomass, and they are majorly used for agricultural precision. So it's majorly used in advanced farming. Imagine having 20,000 hectares of farmland and you cannot walk through your farm. You can't see what's going on at every point in the farm. But just by getting the imagery of the farm and carrying out this analysis, you would understand the state of your farm and what is going on the farm or on the vegetation, whichever you are working, whether it's a forest area or a farmland. You get to have better understanding of what is going on there. So the NDVI is the short form for Normalized Difference Vegetation Index, while the NDRE is the short form for Normalized Difference Red Edge. And these two images are gotten by analyzing your NIR, which is the near infrared band, and your red band. When you analyze these two bands, when you analyze the reflectance value, the result you get, your output is an NDVI imagery. While for NDRE, when you analyze the near infrared and the red edge band, the output you get is the NDRE map. But it's also important to know that for your NDRE, you can only carry out this analysis using sentinel images, because Landsat images do not have the red edge band. So you only do that with your sentinel imagery. So for the formulas, for NDVI, the formula is band 8, which is the near infrared band, minus band 4, which is the red band, divided by band 8 plus band 4. Then for the NDRE, still the same formula, but the only difference is instead of band 4, you're using band 6 in your NDRE formula. So you understand that instead of band 4, you use band 6 for NDRE. So what are the differences? What makes NDVI different from NDRE? When you are using NDVI majorly, it's more concerned about determining whether or not the chlorophyll level, okay, is there plant here or not here? What's the chlorophyll level? If it's visible. But for NDRE now, it's not just looking at chlorophyll now, it is penetrating deeper into the plant tissues to see the state, like to see the color, the change in color or not. So it can easily determine whether, this plant is changing gradually or it is perfectly fine. But for NDVI rather, as long as there's still a form of grain, there's still a form of chlorophyll in it, it's fine. But the moment this plant that dries up, it's going to tell you, these plants are not doing well. But that might be too late for you to do any redemption on that farmland. But then they are not too different. It's not a replacement. I would put it like that. NDVI is not a replacement for NDRE, and NDRE is not a replacement for NDVI. NDRE is a modern index, so it's unlike NDVI that has stayed a longer time. NDRE is not a replacement for NDVI. It just gives you more information depending on your planting season or the season of agriculture you are in. Let's go further into this discussion, how you can interpret the map. So when you see an NDVI map, what is it saying? It's important to note that NDVI and NDRE, they have the same range from -1 to 1. You won't see anything above -1. You won't see anything below -1 in the values. For NDVI, when you see -1 to 0, it is showing you that there is no vegetation there. Probably a water body, maybe bare ground, a rock or something like that. Practically no vegetation there. That's what is for -1 to 0, and the same for NDRE. While for 0 to 0.3, for NDVI is telling you, okay, the soil is there, there is soil there, probably there's no plants. And or if there are plants, these plants are not doing well, they are stressed, they are not doing well, something is wrong with them. While for NDRE, it is showing you that there is soil there and there are plants there. So it's not giving you a broad, it's giving you more in-depth into what the farm condition is. While NDVI gives you a broader view, just giving like a summary of what it is about. NDR is going to give you in-depth knowledge of what is going on. From 0.3 to 0.6, NDVI is telling you, okay, your farm is doing well, it's moderate, everything is fine, nothing is wrong with your farm. But for NDRE, if you are getting 0.3 to 0.6 on a matured farm, that means something is wrong. Probably you need to apply fertilizer, or there is an infestation of disease in the plants or something like that. You know that, okay, there's an issue and it has to be addressed. It gives you that information, and instead of going back and forth or try and error, you can easily address it by going to the locations that the plant is being affected. For 0.6 to 1, for NDVI, it's telling you your plant is okay or the vegetation is dense. If it's a forest area, now when you get 0.6 to 1, it's showing you, oh, this is a dense vegetation area. While for NDRE, on the farmland, it's telling you, oh, your plants are growing well and they are ready to be harvested. So in a farmland of 20,000 hectares, there might be a section you planted maybe the same time, but the growth rate was different. After 3 months, you can see that many of it are not yet ready for harvesting, but there might be some that are ready for harvesting. That if you do not take any step, you would lose the crop, you lose the harvest. And that is the information NDRE will give you. It can pinpoint, okay, these areas, the plants are already ready for harvest. You can as well go and harvest them. But on NDVI, to just tell you, oh, the plants are fine, they are green, they are doing well. That's all. But NDRE gives you more in-depth of knowledge. So let's dive right into the analysis. I'll be carrying out the analysis and showing you how you can achieve this too on your own laptop and on ArcGIS Pro. To carry out the analysis, you would open your ArcGIS Pro. When you open it, this is not what you see. Most likely the same this is what will be opened on your screen. And you select your map and give it a name and the location you want to work with. But since I already did that, I already created the project, I'll just head over to the project. And to load your data, so I already did mine. You select Add Data, then you go to the folder your data is saved in, then you load it, select it and load it into your map. Now you're ready for your analysis. So now we have the bands we are working with. We're working with 3 bands, band 8, band 6, and band 4. We have them loaded in the map already. So to calculate to get the NDVI and the NDRE, let's come over to your analysis. Come over here in the ribbon to analysis. Then you select tools in the geoprocessing tab, select tools. The moment you select tools, this shows on your screen. Then you go ahead to type raster calculator. Typing that, you see you can see there's one raster calculator on top and then another. But when you're doing a spatial analysis, so select the raster calculator below. Doing that, this pops up on your screen. You can see this page showing. Then you type out your formula. And to do that, you need to use your brackets. You open a bracket and you put the bands you are working with. For NDVI, we're working with band 8. Ensure that the cursor is in the bracket, band 8 minus band 4 divided by another bracket and 8. After you've done typed it, ensure that the formula is correct. Then you head over to the output raster. For the output raster, just type the name you want to give the output. since we are doing NDVI, let's just give this NDVI. Then you click on the analysis has been carried out. Then you do the same thing for your NDRE. But instead of going over to type raster calculator again, you can just come over here, and since the difference is just band 4 and band 6, you can change this to band 6 and change this to 6 too. So that being done, formula is different now. So you now band 8 minus band 6 and 8 plus band 6. So you come here to the output raster and change the name. Change it to NDRE. Then you select one. So the analysis has been completed. Now we have the NDVI and NDRE. They are both ready. But the image you are seeing right now is not giving you a representation of what the plantation looks like. This is a sugarcane plantation. You can't really understand, okay, what's going on here. To understand better what's going on here, we're going to change the symbology. And to do that, you right click and you select symbology. When you select symbology, come over here and change it to classify. Since we are working with a range, we want to administer different colors to different things. So to classify, and you change the color scheme. You can choose any color that you want. Now you can see that the color scheme has been changed. But for this analysis, for this image, I want the areas with high reflectance value to carry color green and areas with low reflectance value to show orange. So I'm going to come to the colors, select it, and choose reverse order. So doing that, areas with high reflectance value, they are showing green, while areas with low reflectance value, like this area, because it's red. So I'll do the same thing for the NDVI. Over here. Okay, that has been done. I'm giving them the same color. So we want to view these images side by side. So I would create a new map. Come over to Insert, select New Map. Then you copy one of these images into the new map, so that you can view them side by side. So that I also want to give it the same base map as the other map. So come here, select this map, and I'll choose both image, since that is what we are using on the other map. So that being done, you can now view it side by side. Right click, then you move it to the area you want it, whether you want it to be left and right or top and bottom, whichever way. Now we have the two images side by side. So I'm going to unselect this. Now this is the NDVI map and this is the NDRE map. So now we can see here that the range for NDVI is -0. We can see that on the NDVI map, the range is 0.27 to 0.6. While for the NDRE map, the range is -0.1 to 0.2. So you see that these values are saying different things. For 0.3 to 0.6 on the NDVI map, it's telling you, oh, the farm is fine, it's okay. But for the NDVI map, it's saying, oh, I'm observing that this vegetation was just planted or recently planted. So not so much good has happened on this farmland. But as long as the NDVI map detects growth, it's showing that, oh, there's plants there and they are doing, there's a lot of plants. And on the imagery, we can see actually there are plants there, but you can see that there are some areas that do not have as much vegetation as others. And you can also see it represented in the NDVI and also in the NDRE map. Like, let's take this area for example. This area, for example, is on the imagery. This is a bare area. There is no vegetation in this area. On NDVI, it is attesting to the fact that there is no vegetation in this area. Similarly for the NDRE, it's also saying there is no vegetation in this area. But you can see that the surroundings, there is a bit of difference, and that's because the range for this NDRE map is lower compared to the range for the NDVI map. So that's why you can see such differences. But when you look at the plantation, you see that, oh, this area is saying, okay, there is vegetation here. It's saying there is early growth here. These plants are just growing. And you can make your decisions based on this. So for example, let's say the owner of this plantation gets this imagery. It is aware that I just planted this crops, so it's okay for it to show this. While for NDVI, it's just telling us that, oh, there are crops on the plantation. That's just it. And with that, we come to the end of this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and also turn on the notification button to get information on the next video that we are going to be uploading. Thank you for watching, and happy mapping.